I'm Sugarberry, and this is my toy room. I was thinking that a room tour video was long overdue because the last one I did was back in May of 2024, and it was a video that I did with my husband Prime back when we shared this channel. But now since I've got my own channel, I thought I would do a brand new one because a lot of things have changed. You can see that the room is sort of a long, narrow shape. We only have one window that barely gets any sunlight, which is kind of sad. And for the most part, my collection is sitting on these white particle board shelves, which come from our big hardware stores here. I think we got ours at Lowe's or Home Depot, something like that. And I purposely chose white because it's very dark in here. The white really brightens things up, and I really feel like I can see the toys better that way. You'll also notice that the shelves don't go all the way down to the floor. And that's because of this guy here. This is Yoda, who absolutely loves tearing things apart. So I'm very careful to keep things out of his reach. So we were able to acquire another room in the basement where we live. And that has become Prime's office. He works from home, so that's his work from home office. It's nice and quiet over there. And also it's going to become his personal toy room. And he's already moved a whole bunch of toys over there, but we just don't have enough shelving in that room yet to accommodate his whole collection. So it's a work in progress. But eventually this whole room is going to be just my toys, which I'm pretty excited about. It's also perfect because no matter how much space I have, I feel like it's never enough. And I am sure that if you're a collector, you probably identify with that. So this is just the general layout of the room. The door is there. I've got a couple of shelves here with some Disney dolls. Anything that's sort of Barbie sized but isn't actually Barbie, like Maxie, the Hart family, etc. And then up here is all my Barbies and my ponies. And then underneath that is just a little shelf with some storage, a couple of Hot Looks dolls. And then going into some other dolls at the top there. My Lullaby Nursery up there. My Precious Moments dolls. Fairy Tales birds, She-Ra. There's the Barbie camper, a couple other Barbie accessories up there. Some of my plush. My Moon Dreamers, Keepers, Care Bears. There's some Lady Lovely Locks. And up at the top, that's where all of Prime's toys are for now. And then underneath, back to Lady Lovely Locks. There's some dinosaurs there in the corner. Got some gem dolls, Cherry Merry Muffin, Strawberry Shortcake, herself the elf, Sesame Street. I've got a Dawn doll there and some other small figures. And then down underneath there, this is our editing desk. And then underneath that, that's where Yoda likes to sleep when we're working. And beside the editing desk is my own little personal desk. I've got a lot of duplicate Barbies there. You can see there's a couple of ponies and Barbies and things there that I got for Christmas, which is kind of a spoiler alert. And I have a little pink lamp in the corner that I got at a thrift store. And then down underneath my Sesame Street garage is an Avon bag, which is vintage, which is very cute. And then under that, on the floor, I just have some bins, or a bin with some duplicate toys in it. I've got all my pony cleaning, etc. stuff here. my OxyClean, and just some other storage items, nothing too fancy. And then there is our one little window that barely gets any light. And then up above the closet door, I've got my Cave Club collection. I know it's not vintage, but I still love collecting it. And to the right of that is my talking townhouse. Or it's actually not the talking townhouse, it's the other version of it that doesn't actually have any features. I forget what it's called. But I've got a few Barbies on there. And to the right of that, we're back to the door again. I have some more accessories and things like that on the door. And then if we look down here, we have this corner cabinet with a glass front on it. It's actually a kitchen cabinet. And the way that the room was laid out before, it worked well in this room. It currently has some G3s, my glow friends, a bunch of other things in here, just random things. And then my Sky Dancer bases. All of that stuff is going to go back up on the shelf where Prime's toys are once he moves them out. And then I think I'll get rid of that cabinet. And then on top of that is kind of where I have a bunch of ponies drying. I've been working on fixing up these. Got a cupcake doll here that I'm working on fixing up. So let's look at my toys shelf by shelf. I'm not going to go into a ton of detail, but I do want to show you what toy lines I have and maybe some of the lines within each toy line. But I'm not going to talk about every single toy that's in my collection because I don't want this to be a 3-hour video. Let's just keep it simple. Okay, let's start way up at the top here. This is the very top shelf that I can barely reach unless I use a ladder. I just have a couple of Barbie cases here, and then that fold out, flip out Barbie house, I forget what it's called. And that's it, that's on the very top shelf that actually belongs to me. The rest is all Prime's. A lot of stuff from his childhood, like you can see his childhood plush, Bugs Bunny and Donald Duck. And a lot of Marvel and DC kind of stuff. Spider-Man, the Hulk, etc. So starting again by the door, at the very top I have my Esmeralda doll, I have a Tinkerbell doll, Pocahontas, and then I have 2 Totsie Native American dolls. I forget what the toy line is called, but it's the Indian Brave and the Indian Princess. And then underneath that, on another little shelf, I've got some Maxie dolls, Maxie's boyfriend Rob. I've got some Heart Family dolls. I've got a Star doll, a Cindy doll, and then my Marie Osmond doll on the right hand side. And then to the right of that, on my very top shelf, I've got some Christmas dolls. You can see at the top there, there's Winter's Eve Barbie. She's still in the box. That was a gift from Prime for Christmas a few years ago. I kind of wanted to start with more of the holiday dolls up here, and then move into more wedding sort of dolls. So you kind of get that vibe at the top. And then to the right of that, I've got more of my ball gown type dolls, birthday Barbies. The Angel Princess doll is at the back on the left-hand side there. Blossom Beauty Barbie is up there. And then moving to the right again, another birthday Barbie. I've got Peaches and Cream, as you can see, Butterfly Princess. Superstar Barbie is at the back there. I've got another doll dressed in the Dream Glow dress. I forget which Barbie that is, but it's not Dream Glow Barbie. Yeah, so still more ball gown type dolls. So one thing you'll notice about me and my collection is that I am not a perfectionist. I have a very imperfect collection. So a lot of my Barbies are not wearing their correct outfits. And a lot of that is just because I love to thrift. That's where I get most of my collection, is from thrifting. I'll find a nude doll somewhere, and then, you know, a year down the line, I'll find her outfit at another location, like another thrift store or the antique mall or something like that. And then when I finally can piece those two things together, it is super satisfying. Until I can reunite the doll with its proper outfit, I improvise and I put it in something else that I have. So, and I think that's the way a lot of collectors are, unless you're a box collector, unless you really like collecting Barbies in the box and they're perfect. And if that's you, that's awesome. It's just not me. So yeah, to the left, we've got Butterfly Princess Teresa and Butterfly Princess Barbie behind her. And then at the back, we've got an Easter doll, or a spring doll, spring bouquet, that's it. Spring bouquet Barbie in brunette. And then at the very front in the Miss America sash is the Sweet 16. I think that's her name, Sweet 16 doll from the 60s. And she's wearing a Miss America dress that was also, I believe, released in the 60s, but on a different doll. So as you can see, I'm kind of phasing out of the ball gown dolls and into more other dressy dolls. You can see Crystal Barbie's dress is on Secret Hearts Barbie there. And then back behind that, you can see there's some other dolls there, but I don't have them on stands yet. So I'll move a couple of dolls and then I'll show you what's behind there. There we go. So the girl in the yellow right there, she is Dream Date Barbie, but she's wearing an outfit for a different Barbie. Again, I forget the name of the Barbie herself. I'm sure you'll probably recognize it when you see the outfit. And then to the right of her, another 80s girl. I forget her name. See, this is why I'm not talking about every single Barbie, because I can never remember the names. And then to the right of her, at the very front, is Pink and Pretty Barbie. She's missing some pieces, but she's got the pants and the top. And then at the very front, I've got Sparkle Eyes Barbie with her cut bangs, Fashion Play Promenade. I'm getting more into the, like the rock and roll dolls, you know, the Barbie and the Rockers. Hollywood Hair Ken is right there. I'll move some Barbies around again so you can hopefully see them a little bit better. Also Golden Dreams Barbie is right there. She's a new addition to my collection. And then there in the yellow there is the original Superstar Barbie from the, was it the late 70s or the early 80s? And she's actually wearing a Superstar Barbie fashion pack. And again, I'll move some Barbies at the front so you can get a better view of what's going on back there. Okay, there we go. Now you can get a better look. So there's Golden Dreams Barbie, Superstar Barbie in her Superstar fashion pack, the yellow one with the pantsuit. Very pretty fashion pack, actually. You know, there's moving into my rock and roll dolls, the music dolls. I'm sure you recognize Barbie and the Rockers up here, and Barbie and the Sensations. And then here's Cool Times Barbie on her Cool Times Barbie scooter. I love this doll. I just love this whole thing. The scooter included. And then behind her, let me move her out of the way. And there is some of my a Lil Miss doll, a couple of Lil Miss dolls, you know, some PJ Sparkles, some Dolly Surprise, Sally Secrets, Dreamy Sweets. That's that little blue one at the front here. And then my one Rainbow Bright doll has fallen. That's Patio Green, and she's holding Twink, the Rainbow Brights Sprite's hand. So that's basically my doll collection right there. And then to the right of that is my Lullaby Nursery from the G1 My Little Pony line. It's pretty much complete, I believe. And I paid a really great price for it. It's not in amazing condition, like there's some broken pieces and it's a little stained and yellowed and stuff, but I don't care, it looks great on display. And to the right of the Lullaby Nursery, we have my two Precious Moments dolls. I've got my knockoff Cabbage Patch Kid doll that I received when I was a little kid. And then in front of her are my two camp Barbies, my Camp Barbie and Camp Teresa. And I put them there because I've got the Barbie camper sitting right next to them on the shelf there, which I did feature in a previous video. And then to the right of that, we get into some of Prime's toys again. He's got a variety of things here. It looks like he's got Inspector Gadget, some Disney, Chipmunks, Garfield, and he's got the Hulk and, you know, all those Marvel and DC guys. I don't know all their names. He's got Spider-Man up here, all the way down to the end of that shelf. So eventually, all of this will be mine. All right, so we're down on the next shelf again, starting back at the door again. So here is where I have my wintry dolls. So like anything, like I have a Ski-Doo here, I have my Ski Fun doll. Well, that's a Ken, but it's not Ski Fun Ken, but he's wearing the Ski Fun t-shirt. And then this girl wearing a Fashion Avenue pack that looks very wintry. And then in direct contrast to that, right beside that is where I start all of my beachy dolls. So right here I've got Sun Sensation Kira wearing a different outfit, Sun Sensation Barbie, and then we get into all my beach dolls. So I've got my Barbie boat here and lots of Kiras, I got a few Teresas, some different Barbies. You know, Sparkle Beach Barbie. I've got the Mermaid Barbie here at the back. Right here. Splash and Color Teresa right here. Splash and Color Christy right there. Boy, this camera does not like it when I put my finger there. Oh, sorry. No, I'm wrong. Sorry. This is actually Hawaiian Fun Kira. That's Sun Sensation Kira right there in the Fashion Avenue denim and gold outfit there. And then to the right, I've got my Barbie Jeep with my Baywatch Barbie driving. And in the passenger seat, we've got Baywatch Teresa, and behind them is Baywatch Ken. I've also got Hawaiian Fun Barbie there, Polynesian Barbie. And then to the right of them, right back there, that's Pearl Beach Barbie. I've got Beach Blast Barbie. You know, all kinds of beach Barbies, Sparkle Beach. And then I move into California Dream. So there's California Dream Ken, Teresa, and Mitch. And from there, I've got my two 60s Kens. I've got the blonde version and the brunette version from 1962. And then I move into more water play dolls slash ballerina dolls. So there's Foam and Color Barbie in blue there, Bubble Angel Barbie, Jewelry Fun, Tooth Fairy Barbie. She's wearing a different dress, but that's Tooth Fairy Barbie in the pink right there. My first Barbie with the ballerina outfit on. Totally Hair Barbie, of course. Style Magic. We're getting more into the beauty Barbies, I guess. Fashion and beauty. So we've got Paint and Dazzle, Chic Barbie, Ruffle Fun, Earring Magic Teresa back there. And then I've got my Native American Barbie, and then Western Stamping Barbie, Western Fun Barbie. And at the front, we've got All-American Barbie here, Caboodles. And then from there, we go into more sporty Barbies and career-oriented Barbies. So I've got Dr. Barbie, Gymnast Barbie, Teacher Barbie, what's her name? I've got the two babysitter skippers there, High School Jazzy, and behind her is actually the chalkboard from Teacher Barbie. It's very hard to see back there. stuffed skipper squished in there. And then another accessory pack, also a teaching board for a teacher doll. It didn't actually come with Teacher Barbie, but it came in a separate pack. And then I've got a Barbie bed here with some really cute bedding. I think that's all original. And then Dreamtime Barbie back there in a totally different outfit. And then I've got my very first Courtney here. She's actually a very recent find I found at the thrift store. This is Teen Time Courtney, McDonald's Stacy, and then I forget which skipper that is, but another skipper. And then to the right of her, I've got my two Fairy Tales birds. I don't have very many of them, but this was like, I have to say this is my very favorite thrift find of 2025 is this Fairy Tales house. And it's got all kinds of perches on it for the Fairy Tales birds. So cute. And actually when I found it, the sprite right here, this Rainbow Bright sprite was actually in it when I found it. So that was exciting for me that day. And then to the right, we have my She-Ra collection. It's not displayed very well. Again, I need to buy more stands and risers and things like that. But I've got some of the horses at the back. I've got the crystal, I want to say crystal moonbeam horse back here, the pink one with the blue hair, crystal swiftwind, regular swiftwind, and stormy. A lot of these were actually gifts from Prime. He really likes to give me She-Ra stuff for Christmas, which is awesome. He actually gave me another one this year, which is down here. He gave me Flutterina, which is so exciting. I just have to figure out how I'm going to attach her wings, but that's a whole other thing. In this little container back here, I've got some Precious Places, keys, and accessories. I don't have any of the play sets themselves, but maybe someday I will. For now, that's just where they sit. And then to the right of that, we're getting into some plush. So this little pink elephant, that's actually one of Prime's childhood plushes. And it really reminded me of Care Bears, so I decided to keep it. And yeah, just a variety of plush. I got a Popple, Wuzzles, I've got a couple of Flippy Dogs, the Be More's dinosaurs. Not a very big collection, but I think it's pretty cute. And then to the right of that, I've got my tiny little dinosaurs collection from the dinosaur show from the 90s. And behind that, we've got my Lady Lovelocks collection. I've got some boxed dolls behind there. They're the Enchanted Island series dolls, as well as Duchess Ravenwaves and Maiden Curly Crown back there. And then in front of the Duchess Ravenwaves box is the actual Duchess Ravenwaves doll. So I actually have two of those. Yeah, so a couple of dolls from the first release. And then this blonde one here is from the second release, the Enchanted Island. There's Maiden Curly Crown. I have a double of her as well. She's also in box. And then Prince Strongheart. And then at the front, I have my two Hidden Peaks, I think they're called. And my two baby dragons. And that's interesting because I have the purple Hidden Peak, purple dragon, green Hidden Peak, so I'm missing the pink ones of both of them. And then to the right of that, we're going into gem. I don't have a huge gem collection. I just have the two dolls. I believe this one here is the first release, and then this one was from the following year. I forget the names of both of them. I'm not very familiar with gem, to be honest with you, but I really like them. And I'd like to get more into that this year, but we'll see. Behind that is just a box from one of the Strawberry Shortcake dolls for now. eventually that's going to be moved. And then to the right of my gem dolls, I've got my Cherry Merry Muffin collection. Yeah, so there were 3 releases of Cherry Merry Muffin, so I've got a few from each release here. And I think 2 of these dolls were thrifted, and the rest, I'm pretty sure I ordered them on eBay or something like that. The ones with the tinsel in their hair are from the 3rd release. Some are not wearing their original outfits, so I've had to make do with a few of them, but that's okay. That's how collecting works sometimes. And then we're moving into my Strawberry Shortcake collection. I think this is my collection that has changed the most this year. It has grown so much. So starting with this strawberry back here, this is one of the play sets. It's completely empty, like there's nothing in it. None of the furniture or anything is in it. But I saw it at the thrift store and I was like, yes, I need that for my display because it looks so good behind them. But yeah, so I'll start over on the right hand side here. Like this year, I picked up these 2 dolls, the 2 villains, the Peculiar Purple Pie Man and Sour Grapes. We've got lemon meringue, raspberry tart, huckleberry pie. There's a couple strawberry shortcakes here. One is wearing one of the fashion packs. We've got some of the pets. Mint Tulip, she's missing her hat. This is Orange Blossom, who I actually did buy in box from the antique mall. That's why that box is back over there. And then I actually found her pet at the thrift store. So yeah, it's really grown. Almond tea, we've got angel cake. I got couple of these babies here. And then over here to the left is where I've got duplicate dolls. Like Lime Chiffon here is a duplicate for me, but she's wearing a fashion pack, or like different pieces of different fashion packs. And same with some of these other dolls here. This is a fashion pack, this is a fashion pack. And behind here, we've got Lem and Ada. Lem is wearing his original outfit. Ada is wearing a fashion pack because I don't have her original outfit. I just love Strawberry Shortcake. I think they're so cute. I wouldn't say my Strawberry Shortcake collection is complete. It's definitely not, because I'd still like to get all the play sets. And a lot of my dolls like this one, they're missing their hats or missing their socks or whatever. And then to the right of my Strawberry Shortcake collection is my 2 Herself the Elves. Actually, this Herself the Elf, she came in a lot that I had bought online of Strawberry Shortcake. And I had never really had much of an interest in Herself the Elf until then. And then when I received her, I was like, oh, they're actually kind of cute. So then I turned around and bought this one online. I forget her name, so I'm probably going to continue with that collection this year as well. Some of the minifigures. And then to the right of that, I've got my Sesame Street garage with a variety of Sesame Street figures up on top. And then underneath there, I've just got some other little minifigures, just random ones. And then underneath that, we've got a couple of the small Strawberry Shortcake figures, including the Peculiar Purple Pie Man over here. I think this is Wrinkles the dog. I think this is one of those like Puppy in My Pocket or something like that it was called. Mickey Mouse. These 2 are little vintage horses. I can't remember what toy line they are. 2 different toy lines, actually. And then these 2 are from Cabbage Patch Kids. And then right here is my Dawn doll, which is very special to me because it actually belonged to my mom as a child. So I just keep it on display right here. I love it. And if I could get my hands on more Dawn dolls, I think that would be another collection that I would definitely pursue. All right, so moving down to the very bottom shelf here, this is where I keep my G1 My Little Pony collection. And G1 My Little Pony is definitely my favorite toy line from my childhood. And I used to have everything organized by color, which was fun for a while, but I found that I was having a hard time keeping track of what I had and what I didn't. So now I've got them organized by release date again. So yeah, here we've got the originals. You know, we've got Blossom and Minty and Cotton Candy and Butterscotch, Peachy, Snuzzle. You know, your typical Earth ponies, Applejack, Bowtie, Medley. And then we get into Glory and Powder. There's a baby Ember. We've got the rainbow ponies. Then we get into Gusty. You know, Cherry's Jubilee, Lickety Split, Heartthrob. More rainbow ponies. And some of the babies. I've got baby Firefly here. I've got a couple of the So Soft ponies. Birth Flower ponies. I've only got 2 birth flower ponies. Actually, I've got a December one and a June one. And I'm just gonna move over here for a second. And there's Sundance. She's just the regular version. Baby Lucky. And then I have some of the Flutter ponies here. Some of the Betty by Eye ponies here. Here's my So Soft Sundance with Megan. This is the Megan that actually came with that Sundance. We've got some Twinkle Eye ponies here. And another So Soft, that's Bangles. We've got my one Big Brother pony, Slugger. And then up at the top here, we've got my Twice as Fancy collection. There's Sugarberry. And then underneath I've got my Princess Pony collection, both the first and second release. And then above that I've got my 2 pony pals, or my 2 pony friends, Kingsley and Creamsicle, the lion and the giraffe. And I don't know if you can tell, but behind them is actually the mirror from the perm shop. It's a big heart-shaped mirror. And then beside them, we've got some more newborn twin ponies. And down at the bottom here, first tooth baby ponies. Very cute with their little tooth. More twins. There's some twins in the baby carriage. And then there's some Brush and Grow ponies. And there is Scoops, one of my Twice as Fancy ponies that came with the little shoe. I forget the name of the play set now. And then behind her are some more accessories from the perm shop, including Fifi back there, who also came with the perm shop. And there's Yum Yum. And then at the back there is Tabby. She's my one and only Happy Tails pony. And then over here we're getting into the, is it the Sunday Best ponies? I forget all of their names, of course. And then there's another So Soft pony there. I think she was one of the mail order ones, if I'm not mistaken. The wedding one. And then there's a couple of peekaboo ponies here where their heads turn back and forth. A couple of summer wing ponies or windy wing ponies. I always get those 2 mixed up. This is one of the carousel ponies. I forget the name. And then there's a couple of the Princess Brush and Grow ponies there. Just 2 of them. And then into my Sparkle pony collection. Love these ponies. They're just so beautiful. Of course, my favorite is this one with the little UFO on her as her cutie mark. But I also actually really like this one. I love the colors, the purple. Twinkler, I think her name is. And then one of the baby pony, or one of the ponies with the painted on diapers. And then we've got some Sweetheart Sister ponies, just 3 of them. And my My Little Pony lunchbox behind that. And then these guys at the front here, these are baby ponies and pretty pals. So each of these ponies came with a pet pal. So this one here actually came with this little guy, which is actually a calf. I want to say Lucky is the name of that one there. Oh man, I'm struggling to remember things. So much pressure to remember on the spot. And then there's Twice as Fancy Sundance back here with the color changing hair. We've got some tropical ponies. I'm just missing one of them. We've got the Pony Bride here with her cake. And then a couple more baby ponies. Like I've got the pearlized baby Glory here. And then at the back here, I've got a couple of Rockin' Beat ponies. And Prime got me another Rockin' Beat pony, Sweet Note for Christmas. So she'll be going up here soon. And between them is one of the teeny tiny ponies. And right here we've got, I think it's the Dream Glow, something glow pony. All her little stars will glow in the dark. She's the only one I have of that collection, but she's the one with the piano as her cutie mark. And then I've got a couple of, well, actually quite a few sea ponies, but these are a couple of the baby ones with their original floaties, duck and an alligator. And I actually found those at a local store, maybe like 20 minutes from here. It's a store that actually just sells records for the most part, but they also sell vintage and antique things. So they had a few ponies in the glass case there that I snapped up right away. And then I have a few other sea ponies here. I have one adult and the rest are all babies. This is a Pretty Pet, I believe it's called. It's the dog. There was also cats and other animals, I believe. I can't remember. And then to the right, we have my Moon Dreamers collection, which is quite small. Yeah, when I was a child, I actually had this girl, Bitsy and Rory, the lion. They actually came together. Yeah, I'm missing quite a few of those figures, but yeah, I'm hoping to work on that more this year as well. And then to the right, we have some of my Quints collection, very tiny collection. I put all my little babies in this crib here, which is actually a Kelly crib from Barbie. And then the two girls at the front are actually the Quints cousins. We're missing the third triplet. There was only two at the thrift store, so that's all I got. And then to the right of that is my Keypers collection. I'm pretty sure all of my Keypers collection is actually from the second release. And I say that because they all have the sparkly eyes, and I'm pretty sure the first release did not have the sparkly eyes. So I've got Diamond the horse, I've got Michelle the turtle, and then a few of the smaller Keypers. You know, the smaller ones that you squeeze to open. And a couple of the finders. I just have two. And then Michelle here is holding some keys or a key and a couple of brushes. Yeah, so. And I do have the crown. This is actually the crown for the swan, which I don't have, but I put it on Diamond for now. And then to the right of that is my little Care Bears collection. I only have two of the plush, Cheer Bear and Tender Heart. I have a little Care Bears Christmas cassette, but it doesn't have the original insert, so it doesn't look the prettiest, but it's there. And then at the back I have this little tambourine with Care Bears on it. It is from the 80s. It was obviously a baby toy, but when I found it at the thrift store, I was like, oh, that's so cute. That would look so great in my collection. And then I've got a variety of the 4-inch posable figures, and then some of these smaller mini figures as well. I just love them. They display so nicely. I just like the way they stand. And as I mentioned before, here is my shadow box with all of my My Little Pony combs and brushes and various accessories. Like there's a little duck toy down there. I don't know, I just like the way this looks on the wall. And then here is the 1995 Happy Holidays Barbie that Prime gave me for Christmas this year. Very happy with that. And then also on this desk, like I said, these are some gifts that Prime gave me this year. The Rock and Beat Pony and Flutterina from the Shira toy line. And then this little jewelry box is actually a vintage jewelry box that belonged to Prime's mom back in the day. So I decided to keep it, and I keep a variety of things in there as well, little accessories and things. And this is where I keep my duplicate Barbies. There's just a variety of them in there. And this is my office chair right here. And as you can see, there is a strawberry shortcake sleeping bag on it, which is vintage. It was actually a gift from cousin to me for Christmas this year. And it's a blanket that they actually had in their house for years. But I remember seeing it once and saying to Prime that if they ever wanted to part with that, I would be very happy to take it. So Prime told his cousin, and voila, here it is in my office. I'd like to find a much better way to display it, but for now, it's just on my office chair.
How pretty!
And then behind the chair here is just another little storage spot. This is where I keep all my extra Barbie clothes. I don't have a lot. You know, I've got some other stuff that I found at thrift stores. I've got all my My Little Pony accessories in here. Just some extra furniture, Barbie furniture. This pink case is all Disney stuff. I've got a few Barbie books, a few Care Bears books, and yeah, just some other personal stuff. And then this is another recent purchase I found at the thrift store. It's a playset from Wish World Kids from back in the 80s. I did not even know that this existed, but when I saw it at the thrift store, I was like, oh yeah, that definitely looks vintage. And it's missing pieces, but I think it's pretty cool. Flips open and it comes with these little dolls. So that might be a toy line I might get more into this year. And my two Hot Looks dolls. This is a toy line that I'm like, meh, I can't decide if I like them or not. They're okay. So when I see them for really cheap at the thrift store, I do pick them up, but I don't know if I'm going to keep them or not. And then I'm just going to show you my Cave Club collection up here. And you can see that I've got a few of the dinosaurs, a few of the releases of Raquel and Emberly. There's Bashley and Fernessa and Lorelei with the purple hair and Tella at the end sitting on the pink Triceratops. So Cave Club is the only toy line that I collect that isn't vintage. I collect them because I just really love the bright, fun colors, and I love the whole prehistoric theme. I think it's really cute. And then over around the corner here, my Barbie brushes and accessories. It's kind of empty. I don't have a lot of Barbie stuff yet, but I'm hoping that will fill up eventually. And then moving on over here to my purple Barbie house. This is the upper level where bedtime Barbie is sitting on the bed And Bath Time Fun Barbie is getting ready for a shower. She's got a towel in her arm. I added that little pink dresser there with the sewing machine on it. And then we head downstairs and there's Barbie's Christmas tree. Still, she hasn't put it away yet for the season. Ken's in the kitchen doing some cooking. And tennis style Barbie is sitting on the couch. Just chilling. She's having some muffins. And there's the dining table with a few other Barbies. They're just having a little conversation there. And then down here in this kitchen cabinet, this is my G3 collection. I really don't know much about G3. Honestly, I don't remember most of their names, but I really do think they're very cute. They're my next favorite generation after G1. And then down on the next shelf here, there's a few more here. You can see I have not styled their hair or anything. Something I need to do. These shelves I've just sort of neglected, mainly because I know that I will be moving them. All of this stuff will go up on the shelves once Prime moves all the rest of his toys to his room. So Glow Friends, some knockoff ponies back there, some little people. That's Princess Magic Touch right there. Some McDonald's toys, some McDonald's Barbies. Sweetie Pup. And then down at the bottom, those are some of my Sky Dancer bases. I don't have any of the tops, any of the dolls. And then a couple of other horse toys from back in the 80s and 90s. I think these are both 90s. So that was my room tour. Let me know if there was anything that you liked or anything that you remember from when you were a kid. Also, if you've got any display tips that you can give me, I'd love for you to put those down in the comments below. I'm always looking for different ways, unique ways to display things and just make the room feel cozier and warmer. And if you'd like to compare this room tour video with my previous video from May of 2024, you can check out that video right here. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.